Alright, folks, Mirrorpoint turn 39. The enemy is raiding Sinafe in order to kill the income of it, which is fair. I mean, I understand. I understand the impulse. We're going to move our troops up to intercept them. That army might try to run somewhere else, and I'm not entirely sure where that somewhere else would be. There's a lot of possible options. We'll try and figure it out and drop Bugsy Siegal somewhere to stop them. Like, this is kind of a juicy target because it has a lot of income, so I think we're going to hop Bugsy right over the back there, and I think he can take them out alone, especially if there's just a tiny bit of province defense providing chaff. Over here, we're researching with everybody. We're still casting a few remote site searching spells, but not all that many, because we're a little bit low on gems. In terms of research, we're about to hit Thaumaturgy level 6, so we're taking the time to build Monhelte a Skull Staff so that he can actually cast Imbue, not Imbue, Soul Warrior, create Vessel, and create the Hollow Knights, which, if you'll recall, will cost us 26 death gems. So we are... it's going to be a couple of turns, but then it's going to be a couple of turns to hit Thaumaturgy 6 anyway. So we're forging the Skull Staff. 18, yep, we'll have just enough to build it just as it comes online. And we'll forge some basic gear real quick for that Hollow Knight. And we'll try to get him leveled up. In fact, getting him into this fight, if we could, would be pretty neat, because then he could level up against them. Sorry, had to check a message. Somebody was messaging me. Down here. Hit both these provinces, took all of Orem's income away. However, Orem is raiding me with Lars, which is a good strategy because his thugged out Lars are pretty neat. He's also hit Bright Woods for some reason, so he's also raiding Anor Londo, and I'm not entirely sure why. But so you can see these Lars are actually quite well thugged out. They've got Ethereal naturally, they've got Luck, they've got their Stealth. This one has a Fire Shield. What they don't have is very good magic resistance. They only have magic resistance 16. So I should be able to kill them with Soul Slays, which I can definitely throw out some Soul Slays. So I'm going to start moving out my Soul Twisters, who of course can fly and have high map move. And we're going to set these 4 guys to move and patrol. And they're all going to be scripted to just straight up spam Soul Slay. Like, there's nothing else they need to do. It has infinite range, it has infinite precision. It's just make a magic resistance roll or die. And then we'll say cast spells. I'm just gonna boop, boop, boop. In fact, 3 of them statistically should be able to get him when he has magic resistance 16. I think his odds of failing are about 1 in 9 or so, but let's send 4. Just to be pretty solid. And then we'll take... That is gonna hamstring our research just a little bit. We have to make sure that we still have over 600 so we can hit Thaumaturgy in 2 turns. So let's get these guys, and they will move right there. They'll move in patrol. And we'll give them the same scripts. And I think I should have just enough... I still have 648 research. Excellent. Okay, so we're moving and patrolling onto both of those forts, so the Lars can't hit us there. In terms of patrolling with units, Vamath here is moving down to Willadun. Actually, we need to retake these provinces behind the enemy as well. We're not moving out our army just yet. The army is sticking where it is. And I think what we'll do is we can form a communion to cast Soul Slay as well, since we have a bunch of communion mages. We're sending Ipabor and Finnball down here to retake that province. Ipabor is swarming to lock the Lar down, and then Finnball is Soul Slaying, which should be fine. Decent odds to take him out. Don't know that it'll be 100% effective, but it'll do something here. We've also got Elohar with 2 nature gems. I really want to use those nature gems to forge gear, though. So let's take his gems away from him. We've got a couple of... We could form a very small communion up here, but it wouldn't be very effective. Varric is going to hop back there, I think, and Zelion. Zelion can actually probably take on a Lar, because he can go ethereal. Won't help against the magic weapons, but he has personal luck and astral shield, so he can paralyze, and we can actually delete the body ethereal in favor of what? This magic? Starfire's actually does armor negating damage straight past everything. We can cast Twist Fate, so personal luck, astral shield, Twist Fate, and we can attack rear with Zelion. So Zelion will hit this province real quick. We just took these to remove the income from Orem. I'm not anticipating keeping them for now. Satis is the big news. There's actually some other news for the nation, but let's talk about Satis first. Satis has, well, we managed to infiltrate them this turn, so let's take a look at the graphs, shall we? Satis has double my income. My income, if you'll recall, is about 2,200, so they have about 4,500 income. Satis has about close to double my provinces, not quite double. In terms of provinces, I'd forget exactly how many I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So they have about 50 some odd provinces, which is huge. And they have 17 forts, if I've counted correctly. Because every tick here is 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 forts. Why only have 6 forts? I thought I had 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I have 7 forts. Okay, so we know that my level of forts right here is 7, right? That's right here. And then they have, on top of that, every line basically is a fort. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Not quite every line is a fort. Anyway, I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think they actually have 18. I think they have 18 forts. They're huge. They're dangerous. They have easy access to at least 4 of the thrones. More likely 5 or 6 if they're willing to go to war with Haerdalas. Haerdalas has a non-aggression pact with them right now, but I've contacted him. I've contacted Anor Londo. They agree Satis is the major danger. I'm going to contact Ulm as well. Although Ulm is still doing this thing where he's fighting back and forth with Man. And Man, unfortunately, has no border with Satis, so they're not interested in confederating against Satis. So, we'll see what we can do. But, generally speaking, this is dangerous, and I don't like it. Satis is about to run over the world. I don't have time to go to war against Anor Londo. I don't have time, really, to go to war against Man, although that would be a lot easier. I have to just move. Like, we've got to move against Satis. We don't have another option. As soon as we finish off Orem, we have to go against Satis. As I said last turn, still hoping to get Orem's capital for myself. That's kind of... I took these mostly because, A, to deny the income to Orem, and hopefully actually get some of his troops to abandon him, ideally. But also, to serve kind of as notice to Satis, who I have a non-aggression pact with, that I'm kind of claiming this territory. And I'll send him a message to that effect as well. And in the next turn or two, we'll be moving out. I have my little communion here. I've scripted up some communion slaves, some communion master. They're going to be spamming Maws of the Earth, which is why I've given them a whole bunch of Earth gems. And then, so those guys are going to be spamming Maws of the Earth. We have it's a 3 boost with 8 slaves. So these guys are also Astral 4, which means that they can spam cheaper astral spells as well. Astral spells like potentially Magic Duel. Actually, we don't even need to be in a communion for that. We could just toss out a whole bunch of Magic Duel in an effort to kill his mages right off the bat, and that might be worth it. Because it's these guys, the Paragons. The Paragons are guaranteed to be astral mages. Might be worth wiping them out. Because they're the guys who are throwing Gifts from Heaven at me. And Gifts from Heaven is really messing me up. So tell you what. We've got how many communion slaves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only really need 8. So this guy, instead of being a communion slave, can cast Magic Duel. And then, if that doesn't work, he can cast Magic Duel again. And then, if he survives that, he can become a communion slave. So we're going to give him 2 Astral Pearls. This guy up here, he's Communion Master Iron Skin. That's a good buff, so I do want that in the Communion. We're going to script. We're going to set that to 5. Give that script to this guy as well. A couple of pearls. And we're going to give it to that guy. A couple of pearls. This guy's being a Communion Master, so he's going to cast Communion Master and then Personal Luck. And then he'll be able to throw Earth spells here. Probably Ironbane, because my troops don't actually use armor. Well, that cost an Earth Gem, and I don't have many Earth Gems. What else do we have? Iron Warriors. Shatter doesn't help me here. Destruction. Yes. Try spamming out Destruction a few times onto all those golden hoplites with their non-magical armor. And you are going to cast Quickness. Because, fun fact, my troops' encumbrance is not high. I mean, it's higher in heat, but it's still not high. And if we can quicken these guys up, that would be hilarious. So we're gonna spam Quickness. I'm actually gonna have you spam Quickness as well when you go into combat. From, yeah, right behind the boys here. The boys. We'll quicken them all up. We'll drop luck on some of them if we can. Casting Battle Fortune, maybe. And, of course, we will also need anti-magic. So Trakan here is going to need some Astral Pearls. Because he is going to need to start off casting... Well, to be honest, they're not actually using Magic Resistance Negates spells on me. And they don't have access to a whole lot of them. They're using Meteors. So yeah, instead, just drop Battle Fortune. Just drop that hot, tasty Battle Fortune all over some of my big boys up here. And that'll be great. Got some troops in the back. So yeah, this army, pretty solid. I need more troops and more siege power in order to actually break down the walls. So we're pumping out the Hallownest Lancers. And we'll be going in for the next siege pretty soon. But first, like I said, we want to take these provinces, shut down the Lar Thugs, take that back, shut these guys down, kind of secure my back lines, and then we can move back in. He shouldn't really have the gem income to be doing any more Lar summoning at this point. Although he is stealing some gems from me there. That's technically not my province, actually. Yeah, that just occurred to me. Well, we'll just research for the moment and see what we can see. And in 2 turns, we will summon our first Hollow Knight and get him just a little bit of basic gear and start using him to raid. And should be a very, very good time. We're going to level that guy up. He's going to turn into an Astral Death Crosspath Mage. It's going to be so sweet. We're going to have a lot of fun with him. A lot of fun. And like this guy, one jump, he has 14 experience because he killed 10 province defense. So if we can get that Hollow Knight of ours working, he'll start racking up experience, he'll start racking up kills, it'll be fun. We'll layer some buffs on him before he gets his path. As soon as he gets his first star, which is only 25 experience, he'll be Astral 1, Death 1. That's a huge leap in power. And then, of course, as he levels up, he'll become Astral 2, Death 2, Astral 3, Death 3, and fantastic. And also Mindless when he hits that last level, which makes him very much harder to counter in a lot of ways. I don't have any money up here for recruiting mages, which is sad. I want to keep pumping out Soul Twisters, though, because they're super valuable. I also want to keep pumping out Mountain Shamans. In terms of Nature Shamans, I'm already not recruiting any, but I am recruiting troops. We're actually going to cancel those troops real quick so that we can recruit... I want more Forest Shamans or more Snail Shamans? I want more Snail Shamans, actually, so let's start pumping out Snail Shamans there. Got 2 provinces throwing out Mountain Shamans. 1 province with Snail Shamans. Actually, 2 provinces with Snail Shamans, because I'm recruiting Snail Shamans down here as well. And then 1 province with Soul Twisters. Okay, that should be fine. My income is really becoming my limiter at this moment. So I really, really, really need to start getting some more money going. I am short. Short of money. Dropping a little bit of province defense just to ensure that he can't retake these provinces with scouts. He has to actually commit some number of troops to do it. And just being annoying, trying to keep him from getting this income as long as possible. And in any case, that's the turn. I'll see you in turn 40 as we finish off Orem and then attempt to assemble the great anti-Satis coalition to deal with this whole mess. Till then, see you next time. Alright folks, Mirrorpoint turn 40. This turn, a lot of Manifest Vitriol, a few more sight searching spells, didn't really find anything. We're casting more this coming turn. Drangleic has declared the King of Drangleic to be their prophet. Orem has failed to be infiltrated, but that's fine. And in Sailor's Haven, Soul Warrior bounced the province defense. We were attacked in Green Coast by this Bane Lord. And in Remisia, where I'd moved my Radiance, the enemy underwater army moved up. And good old Bugsy Siegal did the dirty to him. Fire Shield, Astral Shield, Skeletal Body, which halves all of their damage, because all of their actual damage is piercing. Jump to the back to murder commanders. They all charged him to attack, started getting hit by the Fire Shield and repelled by the Awe. Of course, he's regenerating and ethereal. So, overall, it just didn't work. And then everybody routed because I'd killed the commanders. Job well done. Job very well done. So yeah, both the Marrow Chieftains were murdered, and the Ictiids and Marrows routed. Since I had retaken this province behind them, they had nowhere to run, and so the entire army was destroyed. Fantastic. Unfortunately, Satis has taken most of the water. That's kind of a piece of shit, but, you know, you can only do what you can do. So, I don't know where those Lars have gone, because they haven't gone to where I am. So what we're doing is we're moving to the two provinces where I think they might most likely be. We've got Frost and Alarim taking their armies down here. They can probably beat one Lar. Up here we've got Hegemol, the Mighty Knight, who we have given this Star of Thraldom just to have a magic weapon on him. And the Ring of Tamed Lightning just in case, just because he might as well, kind of. Like, shock resist is good. I guess they don't actually... I think one of them had a lightning spear, so yeah, I'll keep it. Moving down here along with Bugsy Siegal, we really need to get a fort on this throne. He's really going to want to take this throne away from me, but Bugsy Siegal and Hegemol between them can stop. I think both Lars at once they could stop. And we've still got our Astral Mages patrolling here. We've got more Astral Mages moving down. We're moving out Le Grand Armée again. So numerically, we're once again about the same as the enemy. But this time we don't have the warrior bugs. We don't have the many warrior bugs at all. We've got a whole bunch of Hallownest Lancers who are, of course, you know, easy to kill, but we've got some buffs we can drop on them that I think will make it easier. So back here, we've got a whole bunch of guys spamming quickness. We've got Trakan dropping battle fortune, and we have who else? Vano spamming strength of giants onto this huge blob of Hallownest Lancers that will be holding for 2 turns and then jumping to the back. So they're going to hold for 2 turns, they're going to jump, on the 3rd turn they're going to fly. When you fly up, you're actually technically still in that spot until you land, so we'll have time to get one more buff, 1/3 buff off on some of them. So a whole bunch of them are going to end up quickened, which means they'll be attacking twice with higher attack values. Almost all of them should end up strong with the strength of giants, because that's area of effect 25. So almost all of them should end up with +4 strength. That will mean their nail lances are hitting at 18 plus the charge bonus. That should do some work, especially because it also increases the charge bonus. And then a bunch of them will also be lucky. And so with the luck, they should survive a little bit better, tangle up the back lines, cause more problems, and enable my great sentries to do more work, along with, of course, the Green Lions. We've also got one guy throwing Destruction, a guy throwing Prison of Fire. This guy, he's Communion mastered up, but he's not actually scripted to cast any spells, so that's a problem. He's dropping Iron Skin on the Communion, and then he is going to throw... Let's go, I could throw Destruction, or I could throw Earth Meld. Let's throw Earth Meld in order to bog down the enemy front line and just cast spells. We've got 8 Communion Slaves here. We've also got Mistilo Magic Dueling and Levid Magic Dueling. So that is in an effort to kill 1 or 2 of his Earth Astral Crosspath Mages, his Paragons, or whatever they're called. I think they're called Paragons, in order to limit the number of rocks he can drop on me. His Banelord Prophet is down here. That's fine. Zelion is moving and patrolling to up here to make sure they don't try to lock down this fortress with those Lars. He'll be able to hop down to join the attack on Orem as well, which will be just fine. Dranglike looks like they're actually holding off Satis, or possibly they had just made a deal with Satis to get into this lake, one of the two. I'm not entirely sure. Satis actually already has a fort up here. It is a fort of kelp and coral, which means they're already casting the underwater nature spell that lets them summon forts, which means, of course, they have a lot of nature gems, which is a little bit irritating, because I don't have a lot of nature gems, and I want a lot of nature gems. I want more nature gems. My gem income as a whole, quite healthy. It's over 50 though, which is pretty good for this stage of the game. Especially good in water, astral, and death, with kind of a sideline in earth. So I'm doing all right. I'm happy about how I'm doing in terms of gem income. Need to keep it up. I'm casting once more Voice of Apsu Augury up here. I'm casting some Gnome Lore there. Down here, I was casting some more spells, but now the whole army and all the mages are moving out. But I do still have him casting Haruspects, which is fine. I could take these nature gems with me in order to cast Swarm, but I don't feel like it would make a huge difference to have one guy casting Swarm. I would need at least 4 or 5. So I'm not really going to bother right at the moment. You can put your nature gems back. That would be just fine. Actually, no. I remember why you had those nature gems. You had those nature gems because you were patrolling, because you're a Swarm caster. That's right. So you need to patrol alongside the Soul Slayers. And yeah, overall I think we're doing well. We're gearing up to take Orem. Hoping I can do it here. I'm spamming out a few more Hallownest Lancers to rush in to join the army. I could bring a bunch of Minotaurs for the siege strength. They have map move 16, you have map move 22. That might actually be better. How many Minotaurs can I bring? That many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 with 2.6 siege strength versus, they guys have 2.4 siege strength. How many of them can I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, 11. Yeah, that's better. That's another 20-some siege strength. So, that is the plan here. Hegemol is also bringing his great sentries with him. So, in terms of research, we are hitting Thaumaturgy level 6, and next turn we will summon our first Hollow Knight immediately thereafter, and then we're going to run down to Evocation level 5 in order to get Gifts from Heaven ourselves, because of course our Mountain Shamans can cast Gifts from Heaven. They can also cast Earthquake, although it usually wouldn't be a good idea. Level 5 will also give us Falling Fires and Falling Frost, if and when we ever want to cast those, and it will give us Stellar Cascades, which our Astral Mages can spam out to do fatigue damage, which is pretty nice. And Shadow Blast, although we don't have anybody who can really cast a lot of Shadow Blast efficiently. We may also go down to, eventually, we'll want to go down to level 8 for Pillar of Fire. Both Ice Strike and Pillar of Fire are powerful evocation spells. Well, Ice Strike less so because it's not armor piercing, it's slashing damage. But Pillar of Fire is a very strong spell, it's just very late in research. So at some point we may want to run down and get that, so that our Snail Shamans can spam that out, the Fire 2 ones, which up until now have not really had a whole lot to do in combat. We could fix that partially by grabbing one more level of Conjuration, so that we can summon full-size fire elementals. That would definitely give them something a little bit better to do. But we just haven't had the time yet. Oh, we're 1 research point short. Hold up. Hold up. We cannot be 1 research point short. We need somebody to research. Fenric, you're moving... Unfortunate. You guys are patrolling the capital in case they attack the capital. I do need that to happen. Alright, why don't you research instead of casting Voice of Apsu? I just need to hit that, hit Thaumaturgy level 6 this turn. Okay, great. That will happen fine. And I think that's the turn. So we're moving in our army. We may actually dodge sideways to try to bait him to come out. And like try to gem snipe me or something. And either teleport somebody on or... Yeah, because Bugsy Siegal can teleport, so tell you what. No, I need him to go down here, and there's no lab. Do I have the gold to build a lab? Because if I do, then what I could do is teleport Bugsy Siegal down if he pops a mage out in order to snipe that mage. That could be really handy. Because if he brings a mage out to try and gem bait me, and I can effectively snipe the mage... You're moving and patrolling up there. Tell you what, getting that fort locked down wouldn't actually be the worst thing in the world, because I'm already not able to recruit out of all my forts. So why don't you just move right down here? Well, no, you can actually do that. You can spend 1 turn doing that. And then hop down next turn as the army shuffles aside. We're just gonna kind of do this dance to keep Orem busy and keep him thinking about stuff. We'll send in a guy of some kind. Let's bring Anfar. We'll use Anfar to ping the province. They don't have much province defense, so we might be able to clear the province defense with, yeah, a really small force and not lose hardly anything if it's stopped. Actually, what we could even do is we could take all these Hallownest Lancers we're about to recruit and this Hallownest Captain, use him to ping Orem and see if they're patrolling, and then bring the regular army in afterwards. That might be a good way to go. And as we can see, Orem is about to lose all his provinces, so if he loses all his provinces, then the Lar thugs don't really matter. Somebody will have to take that province back. I'm just leaving it for Anor Londo in the interest of being friendly, so that I don't have to watch my back over there too much. And of course, Satis is absolutely winning the game, and we have to gang up on him, but I have to remove Orem first, so we'll see what we can do. In any case, it's going alright. It's going pretty well. We're in a decent place. Could be better, could be worse. And I think, hopefully, cross your fingers, knock on wood, hopefully we're about to get our second capital. Let's actually pump out a whole bunch of these guys here. And a Hallownest Captain is 70 gold. Yeah, let's cancel that mage. Get a bunch of Hallownest Lancers there. They're not very good, but I'm just using them because they're, like, cheap and available and easy to use. And then up here, can't really recruit much that's worthwhile. Let's just churn out some warrior bugs over on this side. Nah, let's save the money. A few warrior bugs more or less won't really make a difference. Alright, so that's the turn. I'll see you all in turn 41. Alright. Mirrorpoint turn 41. We are going in against Orem. We've hit Thaumaturgy level 6. We're now working on evocation. So with Thaumaturgy level 6, we are casting Create Vessel to get our first Hollow Knight. Forging a little bit of gear for him as well. Civitos, can you get down there in one turn? You can. Oh, okay. You two both get down there then. And I'll tell you what. What fire spells do we know that would be good here? Incinerate, Blindness, not very useful. Raging Hearts, Pyre of Catharsis, Prison of Fire. Trying to see if we have any good, like, fire spells that I could throw at him with enchantment. Flame Ward, which protects me from fire. That's not terribly useful. Well, okay, we'll just give you the scripting that we're giving most of our guys down here. We've reached Enslaved Mind. So, Trakon here is dropping Battle Fortune on our flyers, and that's fine. That's all good. We've got a couple guys throwing Maws of the Earth. We've got a couple guys throwing Magic Duel just to try and snipe out some of those mages. And then we've got our Soul Twisters. One of them is casting Anti-Magic. One is casting Light of the Northern Star in order to boost all of my Astral Mages. Yeah, right here. Tygos is casting Light of the Northern Star. He's casting Anti-Magic. And then they're all starting to throw Enslaved Mind. Now, unfortunately, this is casting time 225%, so actually that is going to blow an extra gem to cast that, but Soul Slay, you can cast Body Ethereal to make yourself difficult to hurt. You can throw a Soul Slay, and then you can switch to Enslaved Mind. Because Enslaved Mind can be a very, very cool, basically disruption spell, because people start fighting people who have been mentally enslaved instead of pushing forward to fight the actual enemy. Which can be very, very solid. So you can be over there. You can be down there. Light of the Northern Star, Enslaved Mind. You can be right there. I've got a big ball of mages here in the middle that I really need to spread out a little bit more so they're not targeted instantaneously by archers. And this is kind of a risky formation, to be honest, because we've got this big front line. And then in the back, we have one huge ball of troops that I may actually want to kind of hide some of my mages among. Well, they won't be targeted is the thing. He might cast Howl. And if he casts Howl, then a lot of my mages are going to be very, very vulnerable back here if they have no guards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys to the side there, these flyers that I'm bringing in. And we'll kind of tuck our important mages up right behind the troops, where they might be hit by arrows, but they also might not. And, you know, we'll see what he can go. We've got a lot of mages in this army. If we lose this army, it's going to be a pretty significant hit. But hopefully, with the amount of buffs we're throwing and the amount of spells we're tossing around, hopefully we won't lose it. Because those golden hoplites are tough, but they don't have any buffs to their magic resistance or anything. We should be able to take them, I think. And of course, we've got our knight. We're dropping... I don't know if he's going to move that guy or if he's leaving him there to guard his income. We're dropping in Zellion the Soul Warrior. Zellion should be able to wipe him out with a Herald Spear, because, of course, Herald Lances do ×3 versus undead and demons. So Zellion the Soul Warrior will drop in. He's got Blue Dragon Scale Mail, he's got a Vine Shield, he's got Boots of the Messenger. He's just going to hop in, buff himself up, then charge with the Herald Lance, and the Herald Lance should wreck a Banelord very, very quickly. Meantime, we've got these guys moving on up, carrying a whole bunch of troops. We're starting to build a palisade with Hegemol up here in the mountains of Evernight, and we should also take our money and just kind of buff that just a little bit. Hegemol should also be able to stop thugs because he has a magical attack and a pretty high attack value. And he's got high prot, so he won't take all that much damage from being attacked. Fowen can move away since he's an air mage. Actually, let's move him down here to Sight Search. And Bugsy Siegal. Let me think. Astral 6. Then search to Astral 3 and Fire 2. He could Sight Search here, but I would rather actually hop him down south so that he can participate in the final assault on Orem. He'll be at low hit points there, but he'll also help. So, that is the plan for the Knots. We've got our first big communion deployment is going in. And we'll hit evocation level 4, which will give us Blade Wind. So we will be able to, if we want, huck a whole bunch of Blade Wind. I wouldn't say that's super high value. If we got up to Gifts from Heaven before the fight happened, that would be pretty high value, but I don't think we're going to get there. Because we just don't have the numbers of research mages to hit that. In terms of research then, after we hit evocation 5, I'm going to go down to construction 6, start turning my fire gems into lanterns. And we'll proceed from that point. So overall, I think we're doing, like, as I've said several times, I think we're doing okay. We'll see if we can get these provinces here and Orem, and that will be a pretty good land grab for our war here. I could wish that I'd gotten some of this, but you know what? Needs must when the devil drives. And then we'll see if we can put together that coalition against Satis to stop him from just winning the game outright. Alright, that's the turn, and I'll see you all in turn 42.